Hello there, Big Benedict here. We're playing God of War Ghost of Sparta on God difficulty, and this is my Pain Plus guide and walkthrough. We are currently on the first installment of the walkthrough. It will be installment the first of 10 installments. So I am not carrying data through to this campaign, and before we started, I just wanted to welcome you to the walkthrough. This is a fantastic game. It is the harder of the two Origins games, and definitely the better made, and the more rip-roaring, just ultra violence and fun, and challenge, which I really want to talk about throughout these videos. So this is the first section of the game, and I just wanted to mention what the Pain Plus rules are. Basically, everything you need to know you can find it in the description. But the main things about the Pain Plus is that you cannot upgrade your health or your magic, or when you get it, Thera's Bane. You cannot use Thera's Bane. You can only use the Blades of Exile. You cannot return projectiles. You can parry, because you get the parry from the beginning. You won't be able to riposte though, so that is acceptable. And let's see, you also cannot open any health or magic chests. The magic chest is redundant since you can't use magic. Like I believe I said, no magic usage, so that doesn't make sense why you would open that. But this game I thought was extremely difficult the first couple of times that I played it, but the more I've played it, the more I've been able to master certain of the sections, and I actually did get up to the Gerons without taking any damage. But this is not going to be a no damage walkthrough. You cannot use godly possessions, and I think that is about it. If anything else occurs to me, I will definitely let you know. But these Triton seamen over here, these ones, you can block their attacks without any repercussions, but later on when you fight the Lord Jesuses, the Triton Lord Jesuses, you will not be able to withstand the attack without getting staggered. So here is part of the Scylla. His tentacles, you've got one tentacle up there, you've got a couple of the Scylla broods down here, and also when you get Thera's Bane, you can't use it either to augment your attacks, which is pretty much those are the conditions. And like I said, you can use them. You can use the description to just consult it really quickly. Now, I do need to relay a little history, because that's always important to me when I start a walkthrough. I do apologize if I'm not talking about what's happening on the screen right now. We will be talking about things on the screen, just frame by frame pretty much, if you take my meaning. But what I like to do here though is, just 1 second here, just TST to open this thing, and then once it raises, you have a short time to run under it. What I like to do is the Hyperion charge to grab these guys, swing them like that. Watch out for the other tentacle there of the Scylla. And what I started out to do originally, well, let me give you some context. Back in 2014, I did a no upgrade run plus for this game, and I wanted to redux it. The reason I wanted to redux it and not do what I'm doing now is because I didn't think I could do it. But I'm telling you, don't let that ever hold you back, because you're just going to regret it later on, and consider it a wasted opportunity to have to lower your standards. So definitely no more lowering fucking standards on my channel. I want him to go whole hog too. Oh, here's Scylla. This thing's going to flail all his tentacles at us, and just block those. You can block. You can block those and just keep hitting its head. You can actually parry that If you want to just block it, you can get just a small penalty of getting staggered without taking damage. So I just wanted to show you that you could parry it. It's pretty strict timing though for the parries on that thing. It's going to move to the left, and it's going to drip out some of its broods. I like to hang back here and spirit horde from back here, and also do the super plume from back here as well. You don't want to stay in this area when he moves again, because he'll do an attack that you cannot block or parry. So he's going to drip a couple more of these. These things are just nuisances, sheer nuisances. These ones I don't believe that they shoot projectiles, but once you get to the wretches, those shits will fire at you from off screen, and it's just absolutely terrible. But I did do a no upgrade run plus with a very high success rate and not taking damage to the Gerons. And I never thought I would be able to do that, because this game has way more difficult fights than Chains of Olympus. I mean, some of the fights are just dog shit. They're horrible. One of them I always consider to be an anti-gamer fight, which is the armored Cyclops and the Wretches at the same time. I'm sorry, not the Wretches, but the Chorus Wraiths. Very difficult. So a couple of standout parts. I was able to do it without getting hit, but god damn it took me a week to do one of the sections with some more Cyclopses and Fire Harpies. It could be a nightmare. So you're not going to see me save it literally in the game, but just remember to always do that. It's good practice. And well, anyway, I did the no upgrade run plus. I got to the Gerons, and I started to realize that I've been mistaken all of these years about the role in this game. Let's face it, the role, which is the same one from Chains of Olympus pretty much, is just garbage. They messed up on it. You know, I know not everything can be one-to-one, but they were so far off the mark with this fucking role that it's just utterly ridiculous. But there's a key about how to face those Gerons, and I don't mean to be a tease right now and not tell you what it is, but I just don't think it's appropriate this early on to talk about it. But I was greatly mistaken about something, about the role and about how things work with the Gerons, because I thought that the role was, not sufficient as it was to, as it was made. Maybe implementing the combat role to help me out, but you will learn, because I learned. Alright, here we go. This Minotaur over here is the one with the sword. There's another one later in the game before the Piraeus Lion that has a sledgehammer, and that one's the Brute. This one's just the standard Minotaur. And very interesting on this, because once you deal X number of damage to the Minotaur, you're going to see some Tritons dropping down from the top left. Once you see them start to do that, head over to that handle that's glinting on the top right, and you'll get put into this cutscene where the Scylla, when he's guarding like that, hold square to do the Olympus slash on him, and it'll guard break him. Oh, here they come. So just come right up here. You don't take damage, just tap the shoulders, and this will, what happens here will destroy the Tritons. So there normally are 3 of them there, and you also get a checkpoint right there, which I found pretty strange. But those 3 Tritons, they get taken out. Not that they're hard or anything. I just found it interesting that you could do that. What I'm trying to do to maximize damage on this fuck here is when he charges at me, I like to land a SST on him right before he hits me, so that I can do that damage combined with the damage of parrying with that button press. Okay? We've also got some road soldiers coming up over here. This is a very interesting part because some of your crew is up here, and they're engaging some Tritons, and they will give you a little helping hand over here to clear. I know there's a treasure over there. I'm just not going to get it, obviously. You see the guys with the shields? Those are the road soldiers, and this game implements a extremely fun mechanic called the Hyperion Charge, where you run at an enemy, tackle him to the ground, and you can do one of three things. You could press square to do a quick punch, which deals not as much damage, but if you press triangle, he does a two-handed attack that's a little slower and deals more damage. And the third one is the one that you're always going to want to use. Circle, you throw the other enemies at enemies. So this game not only introduced a cool mechanic like the Hyperion Charge, which you can do an aerial version of too, and it's fun as hell. But you can get going with all that other stuff. How's that sound? Pretty good? Alright, since we can't parry projectiles, we're going to have to be careful here. Assassins. Those assassins are pretty shitty. Yeah, fantastic. What a creative game this one was. When you move the block out here, though, there's going to be a small little ambush that awaits you right over here. So there's going to be 3 of these guys. And the rotten thing about this game, you know, aside from all of the nice things that it implements, such as collision, which I was kind of heading towards a moment ago until we did this fight and I got derailed, is that enemies have no problem attacking you from off screen. Enemies have no qualms with shooting projectiles at you from off screen without any indication. But it's all good because they implemented something called collision in this game that defined the earlier God of Wars, where when you're engaging one enemy and you hit him into another one or throw him into another one, the one that you throw him into takes damage, and it's not really that he takes damage that's the key thing, but he gets bounced and moved out of the way and subdued momentarily. But it does come down to damage actually too, because this game, when you throw enemies into enemies or hit enemies into enemies, I'm really sad to say that it does sort of like chip damage. It just does not deal as much damage as it does in God of War 2, and it's disheartening to say that. So what I like to do is I like to lie to myself and say that it does a little bit more than chip damage. But when you think of the difficulty that we're on, I really don't think they're going to let up on that too much. But collision is extremely important to give you that edge and to give you that extra time to do it. And we are almost we're heading over here to the city through this elevator. I just wanted to thank you because this project is very special to me, because for years I've wanted to conquer this game under Pain Plus conditions, but I've always been inhibited by fear and by a lack of confidence in my abilities. So I am here to stake my claim, as it were, and do this game in one of the hardest ways that you can, you know, outside of like a no block run or anything like that. But it's going to be really fun. I've been having the time of my life, and I hope that if, you know, barring that, you at least have some good times and some things that you pick up and that you can implement into your own gameplay. So for Big Benedict Productions, this has been Installment the First. I will see you in the second one. Please take care.